What is up guys, welcome to Garage 23, and today we are finally working on the R34 again. We got a brand new bumper and side skirts to put on, and this is the only polyurethane Z Tune front bumper available anywhere right now. So let's check it out. All right, so all this stuff we got from a company called Aeroluxe here in the US. They're based out of California, and they are stocking all of these parts. So I literally ordered these on a Friday and they got here the next week, on a Thursday, I think. So about a week for GTR parts, which is kind of unheard of because if you order this from Nissan, it's like a 2-year wait or something like that. And the side skirts, the right side, JDM driver side, is discontinued. They don't even make it. And the left side, passenger side, is the only one that's available. And it is also out of stock right now, but they do make it. I don't know when they'll be back in stock, but passenger side, which is only this piece, that's not counting the front mudguard part of it. Yeah. So I'm not counting this front part. The back is $360, $70. These both, along with the mudguards, are about $800, I believe, before shipping. And the bumper, I believe, was, I don't remember now. I think it was $1,200. But yeah, this is the only polyurethane Z Tune front bumper available, because Nissan, even theirs is actually only fiberglass. Well, it's fiberglass and available in dry carbon, but obviously I don't even know what the cost for the dry carbon one is. The fiberglass version alone is like $4 grand. So even at $1,200, that's still a pretty good deal. Obviously this isn't an OEM part. It's probably just, you know, based off scans of the OEM part. That's the first thing I'm curious about, is how does it fit? So that's what we're gonna do today. But just looking at the overall quality, the thickness of the polyurethane feels pretty good. It doesn't feel flimsy in any way or anything like that. Us being from Arizona, this is gonna be definitely put to the test because it gets to like 120 degrees here in the summer. It'll be interesting to see if it holds up. But I mean, it should. We also have our stock R34 GTR front bumper. So once we get it off, we'll be able to compare, you know, the thickness and see if it holds up to OEM standards. But one of the main things to note with this one, well, first thing I was kind of upset about is it arrived with some sort of damage on it, which wasn't due to the shipping company, because this was packaged pretty well. It was wrapped in bubble wrap and then double boxed. And this was under the bubble wrap, like the bubble wrap didn't have any sort of damage. So this is straight from Aeroluxe themselves, so strike one. Other than that, the inside structure looks pretty good. We'll also have to check our turn signals and see if they mount up here nicely. The second, not really strike, probably half a strike, I don't know, is these little clips that are falling off everywhere. They're using like some kind of foam tape, not like a 3M sort of thing, and it's not holding very well. So, but they do include the mesh, which is nice because even at $4,000, Nissan doesn't include the mesh with the bumper. So one thing in their favor. But yeah, we're definitely gonna have to replace this with some 3M double-sided tape or something so they, you know, stay where they're supposed to go. The other thing is they have rib nuts installed on the bottom to hold the diffuser on. That's pretty nice, but I'm not so sure if that's actually gonna work, because a rib nut in plastic, I don't feel like that's gonna hold at all. I feel like it's just gonna spin. The proper thing to do would have been to put like a thin washer or something, and then the rib nut, so that way the rib nut holds against the washer. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to try it and see if that does work. I absolutely have no idea right now, but I suspect that it's not gonna hold, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. As far as the exterior quality, it is very nice and smooth, very uniform, other than the one scratch in the most visible area. The edges are a little rough, but I mean, nothing that can't, you know, be smoothed out. The other question is like the mounting points. I don't know if these are gonna line up with the OEM hardware for the base model bumper. So that's another thing we're gonna have to check and see if it works. Because like I said, the authentic Nismo part is fiberglass, so they don't really require any sort of bracketry or anything, because the fiberglass is strong enough to just hold itself. But this being plastic, just like the OEM one, it has like some bracketry that goes under it to help secure it to the fender. We'll have to see if that bolts up and works. So let's go ahead and get started pulling the stock bumper off. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, there's our OEM front bumper. So we're gonna take the lights off. That'll be the first easy thing to check. Okay, here's our Nismo side markers. Nice. Yeah, that like literally fits just like OEM. Another big plus. All right, so next thing, this obviously doesn't look like it's gonna work. The OEM bumper has this reinforcement bracket. The whole location does look like it's pretty much going to be the same, but obviously this bracket isn't going to work on there. And the factory, you can kind of see it on this side, it has like this locating boss, I guess, where the screw actually goes in, and so that is probably going to have to get enlarged on this side. But as far as the other mounting point, that looks, and it's kind of hard to tell with them overlapped like this, but these two look like they should work. That should be totally fine. But like I said, there's no real reinforcement under this, so I think that might be an opportunity for us to make like our own sort of reinforcement bracket for this. Because like I said, if this was the fiberglass version, you wouldn't really need it because the fiberglass is rigid enough to hold the weight of itself just from the bolts. We'll see. All right, next up is going to be this center mounting bracket. Just going to remove all the clips. All right. This one also looks like it's not gonna fit right off the bat, but let's see if these holes are even in the right place. Kinda, sorta. Doesn't wanna like seat very well for some reason. I'm not super sure why. Look pretty good. I mean, very minimal variance, if anything. All right, so another issue is the OEM bumper. Has these supports under the headlight that help support, that are supported by this bracket here. This bumper does not have that. So it just kind of flops around in this area. All right, so the holes on this top part are too small. The ones on the factory bracket are 8mm. Luckily, we have this nice NACO set of step drill bits in metric. So we're gonna use the smallest one with the 8mm step. And just gonna go through each one of these. So now we should be able to sandwich our brackets back in place. This one goes on the top. A little tricky to line up all three of these with each other. And we need to get another one because one of them broke. All right, so that's the upper bracket done. This side one, I'm not sure if I want to try and replicate this whole deal here. So we would need a smaller diameter hole, a larger one. The problem is that both of these are recessed so that this clip part doesn't interfere with the actual mounting against the fender. So not quite sure what to do about that. Because right now the bumper won't even fit in place because of this locating dowel on the fender. Okay, so we got some, I forget what this is called. Got this on Amazon too. It's for powder coating to like mask stuff off. It's temperature resistant tape, but it's very clear. So I used that to kind of make a template of the mounting points on the edge of the bumper. So now we can use this outer edge to try and line up with the other bumper to get a better idea of where the mounting points are supposed to go. Seems like even this outer one's a little off. So I cut this edge even with that edge, but it looks like this profile is a little different, which may just be the bumper itself, I don't know. But it seems like that mounting hole is off. And then obviously everything down here is a little off. Let's try to just line up the first hole with the one that's actually there. Okay, so even if we line up that one, and actually that's interesting. So if we line up that hole, there's like this casting mark that does kind of coincide with the edge of the other bumper, but this one sticks out a little past that. All right, whatever, let's give it a shot. Main problem is that hole is offset, so I'm gonna have to carve it out. All right, so now hopefully this will clip in place, at least somewhat. Looks like we're a little off on this one. To be fair, it's not a hole on the OEM bumper, it's more of a slot. I don't think we really have a way to make a slot though. All right, that sort of worked. I had to kind of carve that one out by hand a little bit, but it seems like it's holding in place. So let's test it out. So yeah, this is what I was kind of getting at with there not being any support under the headlight. There's a massive gap. This shape seems to line up pretty well though. So let's go ahead and do the other side and then try to bolt everything up more securely, see if that helps this gap any. All right, we got everything, mostly everything bolted up. I'm missing the bolts for the very outer edge, but we got the middle part bolted up and it looks pretty good. It did close up that gap under the headlight, but it does start sagging toward the center here. So around the inner edge of the headlight, not great, but probably not bad if you're not looking directly at it. It's a little worse on this side. And then on this edge, it's like the polyurethane needs to warm up a bit to get back in shape, because it does look like it's a little flared out. In the package, it was like face down, so like the outer edges could have like drooped, I guess. That's kind of what it seems like, but that'll be fine after one afternoon in the sun. Or if you had the diffuser, that would probably like put it like exactly where it goes. We still don't have that yet. That's gonna be down the line probably, but overall fitment's pretty good. I have to say I probably would prefer the fiberglass version. It would definitely be easier to mount, be more sturdy. Now that I've been moving both the bumpers around, this one, I don't want to say it feels flimsier because it's definitely not like flimsy, but the OEM one definitely is sturdier. But like I said, it's not flimsy. It feels pretty thick and good quality, but obviously it's expected that the OEM would be just a little better. That's the Z Tune polyurethane front mounted up. It looks like it matches pretty well with the hood, even though the hood is Sabon and I'm not super happy with the fitment around the front area, but it is what it is. let's move on to the side skirts. Okay, so moving on to the side skirts, quick quality check. Thickness and finish, it's a little dusty, but it does look really good. Even this joint here fits like really well. It's even got a factory part number. But yeah, as you can see, like the back looks great. The exterior finish looks great. A little scuffed up because we've been like moving it around, but it looks good. And this is what we had in the meantime. Just a fiberglass replica of the OEM skirt, and that's from EPR. So let's get that piece off. It's like literally only one clip holding it right now. And obviously we had our Nismo side skirt extensions that we put on here. The reason I got these fiberglass ones from EPR is because these did have the tabs to mount up under the car. A lot of the fiberglass reproductions don't have these. And then obviously these being the poly replicas of the OEM ones have a better quality mounting point there. One issue with these, and I think it's most likely just because this was a GTT, some of these tabs didn't actually line up, but I mean most of them did, so it's better than, you know, not having any. So this should slide on. So it seems like it's too long. So if you look at the end here, like that doesn't match up at all. So right there, it's matched up with the front of the fender, and it seems like it's too long. So let's try to match this end up. All right, so with the back end mounted up, like it's like super close at this side now, but it's running into the lip on the body here now. So it looks like this needs to be like that. That's not as big of an issue. We could just like trim this portion slightly and this will move forward enough to match up. But actually no, because this center bit matches up pretty well. So this is just gonna have to like stick out a little. It's like maybe, it's not that big a deal, like 1/16 of an inch. But the actual problem is over here. It is in fact too long. So you can see where the body ends, where the side skirt is supposed to end. And then obviously where the fender is supposed to mate up with the side skirt protrudes like 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, this doesn't fit. End to end, the fiberglass EPR side skirt measures 64 1/4, and the Aeroluxe side skirt measures 64 3/4. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty clear example, both of them resting on the floor. The Aeroluxe side skirt is clearly too long. I don't really see any way of remedying this other than just cutting that one short, which is gonna look ugly because it's supposed to be supported by this bit that slots into the other piece. So yeah, these aren't gonna work. So I guess let's have to get in contact with Aeroluxe and see what they have to say about it. But as it sits, we can't install these. So gonna have to keep waiting on progress for this thing. Actually, let's check if this thing fits. End cap balance piece, that does appear to be the correct length. As you can see, it matches up with the side skirt. Matches up with the side skirt perfectly. So this part looks to be dimensionally correct. The actual side skirt, however, does not. And we're back with an update already. Luckily, they got back to us pretty quick and they agreed that there's something wrong. We forwarded them all our footage and everything and all our measurements, and it seems like it's not just the length, but the whole shape got like stretched a little or something. Regardless, they're looking into it and they said they should be able to get us another set here by like next month. So that's great news and great customer service on their part. We're gonna have to wait on that Doesn't really slow us down any. The car wasn't gonna go to paint for another couple months, so we're all good there. So we'll let you guys know when those come in and we have something we can test fit again. So thank you for watching, and always do your best.